Welcome to Oddball. I'm Charlotte Wilder. That's Amin Elhassan. Amin, we have to start off the show by saying a shout out to Coach Gregg Popovich. The San Antonio Spurs released an official statement saying that Pop suffered a mild stroke at the Frost Bank Center on November 2nd. Just want to say that we hope we see you out there soon and that you heal very quickly.
Get better, Pop.
All right. Now it's time to talk about LeBron. This is our contractually obligated segment, Amin. We thought we'd put it at the top. Are you okay with that?
We're doing this gratis. The contract be damned. We're doing this one on our own accord.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. I love that. I thought this was a contractually situation, but
it is. But sometimes you give them a freebie. Be like, you know what?
Okay.
You know what? You guys didn't ask for it, or you did ask for it, but you didn't have to. Because we were going to talk about it anyway. And it was going to
That's really nice.
Because it was the biggest story of the night. How about that?
Oh, wow. Okay. He was. It's true. He had 35 points, 12 rebounds, 14 assists for a triple-double to power the Lakers past the Grizzlies 128-123. He is 39. He is almost 40 years old. He'll be 40 in a month. I mean, as I get older and my body gets more fragile, this becomes truly mind-blowing to me. Mm-hmm. He recorded his first career 30-point triple-double on April 9th, 2005, and he had his 40th last night. So it matches up with his age. There are 30 players in the NBA who weren't alive when he recorded his first.
Charlotte, he has more 30-point triple-doubles than he has years on this planet. How about that?
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It also seems like maybe the Lakers shouldn't have to resort to LeBron triple-doubles at this point in his career to power them past the Grizzlies without Ja Morant. What was your takeaway from this game, Amin?
Yeah, no Ja Morant, no Desmond Bane again, which is to be expected because both those guys have been hurt. But yeah, I was like, I was watching that game and I'm like, sometimes you know what happens, Charlotte? I'm going to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I defer a lot to NBA coaches, NBA front offices. I know it doesn't sound like it when I'm doing my job, but the amount of stuff that I'm questioning, I'm like, really? And that I never come out my mouth because I'm like, they know better. They know better. They know all they've thought about there's got to be a logical reason why they're not doing this. And then to watch it not work, and then to watch the thing that I'm thinking like, why haven't they been doing this? Happen towards the end of the game. And I'm like, it took you that long to figure it out? Last night was one of those moments. I get it. The Lakers offense has been great to start the season, right? Been one of the best teams in the league in offense. But I kept watching Zach Edey be out there, and why are they doing this weird ass like, hey, throw it to him at the elbow, and everyone just stand still, and then and throw it and do all this. I'm like, it's pretty simple. Involve him in a pick and roll. Dare him to be able to cover that ground. And the Lakers didn't do that for like 3.5 quarters. And then in the fourth quarter, like, what if we did LeBron, AD, high pick and roll, and then dared Zach Edey to guard one of them? And of course, like it became a runaway train. And I was just like, damn, JJ, like I'm giving you all this credit. Like, man, JJ, he's detail oriented. He's researched. Like, why was the obvious answer not the answer you wanted to go with throughout the early parts of the game? Because it was clear. This is what I'm talking about with Zach Edey. Like, he can't keep up with the speed of the game. Yes, every time he catches it 5 feet away from the basket, turns around. All right, congratulations. He won't be able to score enough to make up for that other stuff on the other end. And truth be told, he wasn't able to stay on the floor either, doing that stuff either. So I thought JJ Redick got out coached a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you're better at those sorts of analyses than I am. What I will say, I mean, is that Zach Edey did foul out once again. I watched him walk to the bench, and it's like, okay, I'm not saying you're right. I'm saying the young man has a lot to learn. But from one member of the James family to another, reports came out that Bronny James, LeBron James Jr.
And now this is contractually obligated.
Right. Okay.
We just ended our gratis, whatever you want to call it. Gratis. Is that right? I don't know. I don't speak Latin or French. Or Dutch.
I don't either, but yeah.
But we ended the free one, and now this one's on the tab. Go ahead, mark it down. I don't have any paper.
Okay, great. Bronny James is going to only play in South Bay Lakers home games this season. This is the Lakers G League. Normally, I mean, G League players fly commercial to face other G League teams, and Bronny will report back to the Lakers only for home games. Brian Windhorst laid it out in simpler terms. He's only going to kind of be a part-time G League player. Have we ever seen this? But like, seems pretty obvious nepotism, right?
No, I mean, it's happened before. It happens a lot where you get players who are on the parent club roster and they go down to the G League, get a couple of reps when they're in town, and then rejoin the parent club. However, most of those guys were really like higher caliber prospects.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, I don't know who we're lying to. He struggles in G League games. And again, I've been one of the people who I feel like in the national chorus who's been glass half full. Like, look, he's not ready now, but he's got certain tools and gifts that I think with development, he can get to be a productive NBA rotation player. It won't happen next year. It'll be like years down the line. But that involves development. Development requires two things, right? Really two things. That's development is all about. Number one, practice time. Practice in a closed environment where we're working on not only team concepts, but also individual abilities. Particularly for them, they own their own G League team. Almost every G League NBA affiliate, they're running the same playbooks. Because the idea is that we don't want someone to come in like, now what does corner opposite meaning? Like, no, our terminology and everything, right? So the practice time, you don't have a lot of that in the NBA level because we're traveling and we're resting, we're getting shots up. A lot of it is theoretical talking. The other part of it is gameplay. I got to be able to take the things I learned in practice and apply it in a game situation. He's not going to play for this team. This team has aspirations. Some might say outsized aspirations, but aspirations nonetheless do not have room for this kid to play anything more than like the last 2 minutes of the second quarter or like a quick stint between the third and the fourth. Like, so none of this is good for his development if we want him to develop to be an NBA player. And so this is the first time where I have to sit and ask myself, is he just Thanasis basically? Is he just here to keep the best player happy?
Yeah, I mean, something about it feels very empty to me, Amin. Not necessarily, look, obviously, I know it's really cool to be an NBA player. And if someone offers you that opportunity, whether you are ready for it or not, you are probably going to take it. I get that. But I think there's usually some element of earning it. And I think at this point, it is so obvious that Bronny is only there because he's LeBron's son in a way that, like, usually you stay on the court because you're talented or you have promise or they see development in you. And on some level, it's kind of like Bronny is like a jester in the King's court in the way that LeBron wants him to hang around. He wants him there. And that's fine. But I think what seems sadder about it is that if they did need to give up Bronny's spot to get somebody better on the team, like to get, say, I don't know, if Giannis wants to go to the Lakers, like, have a hard time believing LeBron wouldn't do it. So it feels like there are limits to this vanity project. And I don't know, I don't think any of the guys on the G League team with Bronny, obviously his dad has earned the right to have this happen. Right. But if I were Bronny, I think something would feel like kind of sad and empty to me about this, aside from the fact that, like, yeah, you get to be an NBA player.
And an NBA player with your dad. I think that just the thing to me is just, look, this is stunting his development. Humbly, I don't think this is the best thing for his development. This is why I say now, is this just a Thanasis situation? Because now I don't see like, hey, yeah, we're going to try and make him into an NBA player. It's just like, yeah, just have him hang around. And that just doesn't seem right. All right, moving on to players outside of the James family. It was a night of a lot of scoring, Charlotte Wilder.
It was Amin El-Hassan.
In Spurs versus Wizards, Wemby became the fourth youngest player to score 50 points in an NBA game. It's also the fastest 50-point game in NBA history in only 26 minutes. Wow, I didn't know that one. And he was 8 of 12 from three. How about that? By the way, these are the other players who were younger than Wemby to score 50. That's Devin Booker at 20 in a billion days. Number 2 is LeBron at 20 in a little bit of days. And number 1 was Brandon Jennings, who scored 55, I believe, like his first week in the season. And I remember that year, everyone was like, Brandon Jennings is going to win Rookie of the Year. And I said, slow your roll, but I digress. All right. So meanwhile, Giannis had 59 and carried out the Bucks to an overtime win against the Pistons. And we also had Karl Anthony Towns put up 46 and 10 in a tight loss to the Bulls, 124 to 123. And in a rare bright spot for the Sixers, Jared McCain had 34 points and 6 threes, along with 10 dimes in his first career start versus the Dallas Mavericks. Charlotte, which performance stood out most to you?
Well, I think first of all, I just want to shout out the Sixers because the fans needed like something good. There you go. It's Jared McCain. I always liked him. But I think it's Giannis for sure. Not only did he have the most points, but he is trying really hard. And sure, you could say he's trying because he eventually wants to go to another team because things with the Bucks have not been great. But I think that it would be very easy for a superstar in this case to become complacent, to get petulant, to say, you know what, screw it. This isn't going the way that I wanted it to, so I'm just not going to try. And Giannis seems to be doing the opposite. So I just think it's fun to see that. I like when people try. Would you say anything different from that?
No, I also like that Giannis found the loophole around the big ball dance with the big dance. I always applaud loopholes, but one loophole we will not be taking or diverting from Charlotte Wilder is the GOAT debate. That's right. You haven't heard it in any podcast ever, but we'll be the first to settle it today. Well, guess what, Charlotte? Two content creators asked Adam Silver a question, and it might catch LeBron's attention. Go ahead, take a listen.
Who is your GOAT? Who is your best player of all time? Michael Jordan. Yep. And don't tell LeBron I said that.
All right, Charlotte, this is what we're going to do. Well, the audio audience, maybe it wasn't clear. The guy asked, who is your GOAT, your greatest player of all time? And he said, Michael Jordan, don't tell LeBron I said that. So, Charlotte, we are going to role play. You're going to be LeBron James. I'm going to be Adam Silver. And you're LeBron. Just found out the news that Adam Silver said Michael Jordan is the GOAT. Go.
Okay. Doot, 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 doot. Ring, ring.
Hold on, honey. My phone's ringing. It's LeBron. Hold on. Let me get this. Who is this?
Adam, don't play coy with me.
I'm just messing with you, buddy. How's it going? I saw Bronny got in the game the other night. Pretty good. I'm optimistic. I hope he doesn't.
You don't have to do this. Here's the thing. I was just on
Savannah?
TikTok. Saw something interesting. You were being interviewed and you were asked who is the greatest. I would love it. Can I just hear it from you? Who you would say is the greatest NBA player of all time?
Bron. It was taken out of context. You know how these people cut and edit things to make it seem like you're saying one thing when in reality there's a rich context around it?
Well, I have a hard time believing that, Adam, because you literally said don't tell LeBron. So it feels like that's all the context we needed.
Well, I mean, look, the question was also kind of vague. I didn't understand quite what he was talking about. So I answered it much in the same way that Brandon Miller said that Paul George was the GOAT. I mean, like, it's just kind of a thing people say. It doesn't really mean anything.
You know, Adam, we've had a long relationship. I really respect you. So it's actually pretty disappointing to me that this is the tact you're taking. I'm 40 years old, still doing this, 22 seasons. I don't know what more I have to prove to you. Oh, is it the titles? The titles? Did Michael win more time? I didn't try to play baseball.
Fool. You know what? You know what's embarrassing, LeBron? You want to know what's embarrassing? The fact that we have to pretend like, oh, your kid might turn into something, when in reality, he's just there like as a security blanket for you. Because you need your teddy bear son to be around so you feel better, someone to hug when you hit the big shot. Guess what? I'm going to need you to be in Vegas on time in mid-December. And don't mess this up with any of your lame ass follow the Hello?
Adam, I gotta go. Savannah's calling me. Also, she wants me to tell you she finds that voice you do really annoying. Okay, good talk. See you later, buddy. Welcome back to Oddball. Amin, what else do we have today?
Well, we've got a little game of predicting NBA Cup winners, Charlotte. See, we've seen one night of NBA Cup action, and I think we've seen enough. We've got totally confident, totally rational picks on who's going to win each group. It's time for another round of Overreaction Action, NBA Cup Edition.
I love this. I love overreacting. Let's start with East Group A. We have the Knicks at minus 280, the Magic at plus 370, Nets plus 1,600, 76ers plus 2,000, Hornets plus 2,500. I mean, definitely not betting on the Sixers. Unfortunately, for the Hornets, not them either. I was saying the Knicks when we started this whole shebang, the NBA Cup, but part of me wonders, is it crazy to say that the Nets at plus 1,600 might have a shot?
Dude, when you combine like the level of play they've had plus the odds that they're getting at plus 1,600, I think the Nets are a really cool, sexy pick to be the East Group A winner. But if you're not trying to be sexy, if you want to be safe, you just say the Knicks.
No, love it. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go with the Nets.
Okay, Nets. Nets it is. All right. In East Group B, we've got the Bucks, the Pacers, the Pistons, the Heat, and the Raptors. This is the all disappointment group, except for the Pistons, who have been weirdly competitive. Charlotte, who do you got?
Oh my God. I don't think it's going to be the Bucks because Giannis has to score 60 points for them to win. I feel like I sort of like the Pistons, but I also think the Pacers last year, they got so close and they seem to really care. I might go with the Pacers at plus 180 again.
I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say that the embarrassing loss to the Detroit Pistons by the Miami Heat in night one of Cup play is going to be the calling card for the rest of the NBA Cup season, right? They're going to be like, okay, Spo's going to be on a warpath because it was a comedy of errors in that game. So I'm taking the Heat at plus 650 because I like those odds. Again, the sexy pick. Maybe the safe pick is Bucks or even Pacers, but I'm going sexy with the Heat.
All right, I'm taking the safer one. Amin Al-Hassan, Miami guy. Okay, East Group C winner. We have the Cavs, Celtics, Hawks, Bulls, Wizards, Cavs plus 150, Celtics plus 230, Hawks plus 250, Bulls plus 1,200, Wizards plus 4,000.
The Celtics. Yeah, I thought they got better odds than plus 230. That seems pretty low for them.
Yeah, well, they did, Amin, but they dropped after the Hawks loss. I still have to go with my Celtics. I can't let one embarrassing loss skew my whole. Oh, no, wait, the Cavs. It's the Cavs. Sorry. My bad. Yeah, I'm going Cavs as well because guess what? They still haven't scratched the surface. I'm like the only one in America saying as great as the Cavs have been playing, I think there's another level. I think they can be better. I'm still taking the Celtics.
All right, there you go. Okay, all right. West Group A winner. We've got the Kings, the Rockets, the Timberwolves, the Clippers, and the Blazers. Kings are plus 210. Rockets plus 230. Timberwolves plus 290. Clippers plus 600. And the Blazers plus 1,200. Now, before you jump to any conclusions, I'd like to remind everybody the Blazers beat the Timberwolves twice. Once in cup play and once just for funsies.
Are you going to, you go first. Are you going to take the Blazers then?
Man, shout out to Chauncey Billups. You talked about you were going to figure this out at Hall of Fame, and damn it if you haven't figured it out to some extent. Because I'm watching some of these wins you guys are getting, and I'm like, how in the world? But no, I'm going to go down to H-Town. I'm going to go with my guy Alpi Şengün and the rest of the goons down there. Taking the Rockets at plus 230.
Okay. I'm going to go safer. I believe in the Kings this year, especially when DeMar DeRozan and Drake got into a fight. I will always bet against Drake, so I'm going to do plus 210, Amin, for the Kings.
No love for Anthony Edwards. Wow, how fast the mighty have fallen.
All right, Group B in the West. Thunder plus 135, Lakers plus 250, Suns plus 300, Spurs plus 600, Jazz plus 8,000.
Love that one.
Sort of tempted
That's
by
a
Utah.
Sexy one. That's a sexy one.
Let's go. Chet is out for the Thunder for months at this point. I kind of like the Suns at plus 300. I mean,
wow, not going with the defending NBA Cup champion, Los Angeles Lakers. Hey, JJ Redick, that's your friend Charlotte Wilder who's betting against you. You and me, buddy. I got your back. I got the Lakers at plus 250.
I mean, it's really hard to repeat in this league, and yes, that now applies to the NBA Cup as well.
We'll find out. We don't know that yet. We'll find out. All right, West Group C. This is the last group here. This might be the most fun group. It's definitely the most dangerous group. The Warriors at plus 120. The Nuggets at plus 195. The Mavs at plus 600. The Grizzlies at plus 800. And the Pelicans at plus 2,000. Cash money taking over from the 9-9 to the 2,000.
Oh, man. I mean, this is tough. To me, this is really between the Warriors and the Nuggets, especially after the Warriors beat the Mavs the other night. I want to say Warriors, but then I think about Jokic, and I'm telling you, can you pick first on this one?
Sure, I'd love to. And I'm going to take the team that you dismissed so summarily. The Dallas Mavericks, the way they lost. They lost on a crazy last-second shot from Steph, who we find out later on that he was pissed because Clay blew him off about something else. According to Draymond Green and Baron Davis, I'm going to trust them because they're so connected over there. But I'm going to go with the Mavs at plus 600 because I like those odds.
All right, well, now I'm going to go with the Warriors at plus 120. Great.
There you have it.
Good talk.
All right.
Okay, we have
Let's
a new
gamble
game
more.
we're playing.
I want to gamble more. Is there any more games we can play?
Yeah,
Picking
I'm really
things?
glad you asked. I mean, we have Prop a Slot.
Huh?
We are moving on to even more DraftKings segments. It is time for us to debut our new segment. Prop a Slot is presented by DraftKings. Stay tuned because you'll hear more about DraftKings and all it has to offer throughout the show. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Oh, yeah.
All right, here's how it's going to work. We spin a custom slot machine made for us by DraftKings that is going to spit out a random prop for tonight's Mavs versus Jazz game. I mean, you and I are going to decide if we want to take the prop or spin again. Here's the thing, though. We get 3 spins max. So if we get to that third spin, we have to take it. Are you ready to see what the first spin is?
I am. Let's go.
All right.
Oh, I see. It is like a slot machine. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
We got bases. We've got props. We got stats. Over, under. And
Oh, this is fun.
okay. Clay over 3.5 threes at Utah. Okay.
I like this one.
I do like this one. The
This
question
is his first game after he returned to the Bay, and I feel like when he scored 22 points there, I feel like he's going to be all jazzed up, if you will. I think he can hit over 3.
The question is there a better one out there than that? We're saying he's going to hit 4 threes. I'm spinning again.
Okay.
4 threes is a lot of threes. Even for Clay. All right, so it's spinning, and it's Luka Doncic under 29.5 points at Utah. Oh.
Okay, so you can get this on DraftKings at minus 110. Under 29.5 points. I feel like
I should have stuck
so
with
in
Clay.
his last 3 games, he had 31 points against Golden State, 24 against Denver, 30 against Phoenix. I think I want to spin again. I don't like this. I mean,
Okay, all right. I was going to say, you know what? I kind of feel like there's a chance he blows them out and doesn't have to score that much. But you're right. Let's spin again because it's minus 110 is not good enough. Spin one more time, Vanna White.
I love this little machine. Ding, ding, ding.
Me. Kyrie over 24.5 at Jazz, minus 135. The odds get worse each time, but you know what? We're stuck with this one, so I'm all right with it.
I really like this, actually. I'm going to be honest. Minus 135 for Kyrie to have over 24.5 points. Book it. We're stuck with it anyway because we can't spin more than 3 times, but I'm happy. Real quick, before we go, Joe Mazzulla, there was a Jeopardy question this week where he admitted, it was like Boston Celtics coach Joe Mazzulla has admitted to watching this heist film directed by Ben Affleck several times a week. This was for $2,000. This was a $2,000 question, which just
that's
shows
like the
you.
hardest question, right? In the
I'm
category.
like, isn't this obvious? But then it's like your brain is broken by sports. He was asked how he felt about it, and he literally said, "I could care less." So, shout out Crazy Joe, never change.
That's a great, when a sandwich board, whatever they call that thing. Anyways, hey, Adam Silver was right. Michael Jordan is the GOAT. A lot of messages from this Father Time guy. Next time he calls, what do you want me to tell him?
He told me he doesn't have your number. He asked me for your number, and I didn't give it to him out of respect.
Father Time asked you for my number?
Yeah. He was like, Silver's getting up there. Can I give him a call?
That's not the conversation I had with him. I had the conversation with him. By the way, I've had Father Time's number. What do you think? Vince Carter just retired out of nowhere?